All right, let's jump right into this explainer and tackle what has to be the ultimate homeowner headache: stubborn plumbing mysteries. You know exactly the ones I'm talking about, right? Those slow drains that just refuse to speed up, the backups that keep happening no matter what you do, or those out-of-nowhere foul odors. When you're dealing with what basically feels like an invisible enemy hiding under your floors or out in the yard, well, you want answers, and you want them fast. So today we're going to explore exactly how the pros get those answers, specifically by looking at what drain camera inspections can actually do for us and what they can't. Which brings us to the big question: is dropping a camera down a pipe a magic fix for your plumbing mysteries? I mean, you've probably heard the advice a million times: just get a camera inspection. It sounds totally foolproof, doesn't it? We've kind of built up this myth that sending a camera down into the dark depths of your plumbing is going to instantly hand you a perfect, undeniable diagnosis for literally any issue. But the reality? It's a bit more nuanced. It's an absolutely incredible piece of tech for sure, but it is definitely not an all-seeing magic eye.
Let's get into Section 1, What the Camera Reveals, the Detective's Superpowers.
When a plumber sends that small, waterproof camera through your line, it really is like sending a tiny, fast-acting detective straight into the heart of the problem. Instead of just guessing from the surface, they get a first-person view of the usual suspects. Let's fire through these real quick. First up, blockages. The camera directly spots grease buildup, hair, scale, all the gross stuff you'd probably rather not think about. Second, it catches cracks, breaks, and completely collapsed sections where the pipe wall is visibly busted. Third, root intrusions. You can literally see tree roots physically breaking into or crushing the line. Fourth, it identifies corrosion and long-term wear, giving us a really clear picture of how much the pipe has deteriorated. And finally, number 5, it spots misaligned or offset joints. These are notorious for causing leaks and reoccurring backups. Basically, if it's a physical, visible obstruction or break, this camera is going to catch it. But wait, it's not just about finding clogs. Cameras also check proper grade and flow when they're paired with depth measurements. And guys, this is huge. Gravity is your plumbing system's absolute best friend, but only if the pipes are angled correctly. By combining that video footage with depth measurements recorded during the inspection, the pros can confirm if the line actually has the correct slope to work right. That's a real game changer because it helps them make highly accurate decisions on whether you just need a simple cleaning, a spot repair, or a full-on rehabilitation. Now for Section 2, the camera's blind spots, unmasking the kryptonite. All right, here is the cautionary plot twist we need to talk about. Even the highest quality video has its limitations. The camera can show you the symptom, like, say, a visibly cracked or crushed pipe. But it completely misses the external cause, like ground settlement shifting the earth right outside the pipe. It shows you the damage, but it can't always explain why that damage started in the first place without some additional assessment. So think of it as a fantastic symptom finder, but not necessarily a root cause identifier. So the crucial takeaway here is that physical and environmental hurdles can actually render the camera completely useless. Let's walk through these blind spots. First, access constraints. If the entry point is too tight or the line is just inaccessible, the camera simply can't reach the full length of the pipe. Second, visibility problems. If you've got heavy sediment, active backslow, or standing water, it totally blocks the lens. The camera's basically flying blind in muddy water. Third, intermittent faults. If an issue only happens under specific conditions, like right after a massive rainstorm, the camera might not see a single thing wrong on a bone-dry Tuesday afternoon. And finally, outside pipeline issues. Problems with venting or failures in manholes and connections outside the pipe itself, yeah, those won't show up in an internal video feed. And because that lens can only see so much, industry professionals often pair the footage with other checks. We're talking about things like pressure testing, smoke testing, or field measurements. The camera might clearly see the damage, sure, but it often can't confirm the full, true extent of a structural failure. By relying on those supplementary tests, depending on what they suspect the root cause is, experts can paint a complete 360-degree picture of your plumbing's health. It fills in all those gaps that the video feed leaves behind. Moving right along to Section 3, maximizing inspection value, your action plan. So how do you guarantee you're actually getting your money's worth out of one of these inspections? Well, you have to manage the process. Step 1, before the inspection even starts, clarify your symptoms, timelines, and any recent events with your provider. Give them the full context they need to plan the inspection around your specific issue. Step 2, ask the provider how they handle expected sediment levels. If they hit a partial obstruction, they really should recommend clearing it first so the full interior can actually be reviewed, instead of just giving up and stopping halfway. And step 3, this is absolutely key. After the job, request a clear report, but ask them beforehand exactly how they document their findings. They should be using recorded footage with actual distance markers.
A good inspection report doesn't just toss you a USB drive with some murky video. It connects the observations on the screen to practical remediation options, guiding you on the real risks and your repair priorities.
Which brings us to Section 4, the bottom line, a tool, not a magic wand. Ultimately, a dream camera is an incredibly powerful asset. It's brilliant for locating everything from aggressive roots to hidden cracks. But it absolutely must be used strategically alongside the right follow-up tests and with totally realistic expectations about what it simply cannot see. Which leaves us with this final question to consider for your own home. Is a camera inspection your magic fix, or is it really just the first step in solving your plumbing mystery? By knowing the difference, you can ensure that your next diagnostic adventure is targeted, effective, and actually solves the problem at its true root.